In this video we're going to look at on-site access, and that is access within the site. So there's two different directions, there's horizontal and vertical. So with an earthworks project, for example, you have a massive amount of dirt that needs to be moved from one spot to another, and that's where haul roads sort of come in. They're internal roads, usually used on large earthwork sites. They enable the traffic to flow efficiently. If you just had each truck trying to figure out his own way from getting point A to point B, they're going to be getting in each other's way. Also, it means that you can build a road so the trucks can actually travel freer on it. So the challenge there is to figure out where the road's going to go and how to get efficient flow. The thing about haul roads is they're on a construction site, so you'll be moving them all the time as you construct in one area, then you'll be moving over and constructing in another area, so the haul road is moving around all the time. And the considerations, once again, you've got those choices about whether it's going to be a dirt road or a gravel road or a sealed road. Very seldom are they sealed roads because they are always being moved around, but they could be just a dirt road or it could be gravel. Remembering also that if you are going to be moving a lot of soil, you're going to have these things, these moxies here, these off-highway trucks that are especially built for rough terrain, so they can probably cope with dirt or wet soil conditions much better than an on-road truck. So these things: traffic volume, how many trucks you're going to have, movements, the weather, is it going to rain a lot, what is efficient, safety, and the future changes, they all determine what sort of design you're going to use for your haul road. So on-site traffic, you're always looking at the design speed. The systems, you can have one way where the trucks are all moving just one way in a circle if you like, or two way where they're actually coming at each other like a normal road. Visibility is an issue. You may even have control systems, traffic lights, but that is quite rare. And the workers all need to know where they're going. Last thing you want is someone going up the wrong way up a one-way road and crashing into someone else. So here's a picture of a haul road. So there's a couple here, so they're excavating there and they're moving the soil over to there. So the trucks are all moving up there, then they have to turn around and then come back down again. These trucks here are excavating here, going up there, and then I think they moved around and came back that way. So they had a one-way system sort of going round and round and round. So you can see that this construction site had two or three different haul roads allowing the earth to be moved efficiently. You've also got to think about vertical access. How are you going to get materials for a building, for example, vertically, so for structures especially. So you've got elevators, as shown here, scissor lift, so that's giving you access to, it's a bit slower than an elevator, but it is a bit more mobile, and scaffolding as well. So scissor lift and scaffolding are also giving you access to the outside of the building as well. So you've got to think about, if you're working on the third or fourth floor of a building, how are people going to access the outside of the building? So scaffolding and scissor lifts provide that option there, whereas elevators are really good for transporting materials and people up to those higher levels. So those are permanent systems. Well, the scissor lift is a temporary system, but elevators and scaffolding are put in place, and so they're semi-permanent. You can also have cranes for bigger sites. So mobile cranes, you can see this one's just a truck with a crane mounted on it, and I think, no, it's not. So that the guy, it may be that one day they need to lift some materials into place, so they order the truck, it comes on site, does the lifting, and then leaves. So it's just a temporary thing. This one's a bit more permanent. You can see that it's got a full tracked chassis on it, and it's got a real serious looking crane. So it took them some time to put it together. The advantage of that is that it can track back and forth to build that bridge. Tower cranes as well are semi-permanent, so they're built on site and they are really just for these high-rise sort of buildings. You can see that they're really quite popular in some places. So tower cranes are built on site and then they sit there for the duration of the project, then they are removed. And one thing you've got to realise about cranes in particular is that if they're overloaded, the results can be catastrophic. So you can see here the crane failed the boom there, they overloaded it. It was a tower crane by the looks of things, and it tipped over. And when something that big tips over, it's going to cause some damage. In this case here, you've got just a truck crane. Once again, they overloaded it and the crane tipped over. So when you're working with cranes, you've got to be very careful about not overloading them. The further the load is away from the crane, the more overturning force there is. So you need to remember that. It may be that the crane can lift the load, no problems, but when it starts to reach out, it starts to become unstable, starts to topple because of the moment arm.